Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Bob Mould.
Have you spent a lot of time in this neighborhood?
I have.
Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I lived in New York from 89 until 93, and then I came back in 96 till 02. I used to live down on Murray Street, but I used to hang up here a lot because I would come to Under Acme and Sinead and stuff like that.
It was a scene.
It was the scene.
What was the rock and roll like? Tell me about some of the stuff you got to see.
Well, in the 90s, I mean, my favorite memories are a lot of the Jeff Buckley shows at Sinead, which were, just when it was just Jeff and the guitar and get your fix, right?
Can't beat that.
I know.
I feel like a lot of the scene has probably moved into Brooklyn.
I think you're right. All right. I think that was the Ramones.
Yes, it was.
My 16th birthday, I asked for the Ramones album for my birthday gift. I was already trying to play guitar, and I heard that record, and it just said, I can do this.
Yeah.
But the first album, it was crazy because the bass guitar was all the way on one side, and the guitar was all the way on the other side, so it was like the perfect learning record. And then I got to see them in 1977. They were opening for Iggy Pop. I think that would have been The Idiot, maybe. It was just an amazing moment in my life, because I had these pictures of them in my mind, because this is before cable TV, let alone the internet. So I really had no idea what the whole vibe and the whole essence of it was. And then when I saw them, I was like, this is it.
How different was it from the records that you heard, the experience of being there? Did it sound very different? Did it feel different to you?
Exactly like the records.
It was just like that.
Except the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 songs and a quick stop, and then Dee Dee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 more songs, quick stop.
One for one.
You think we look?
These guys. The Who.
Yes.
I was born in 1960, and I was raised, as I said, in the Adirondacks. My parents bought a mom and pop grocery store, sort of like a Dobie Gillis kind of deal, where we'd have to go through the kitchen to go to the store to wait on customers and stuff. I had to learn how to use those meat slicers when I was a little kid, so I'm glad I got all my fingers. My dad would deal with the vending company in town to buy, tobacco and liquor and for the store. And my dad would buy boxes of used jukebox singles for a penny a piece. And that's where I found The Who.
So you must have gotten exposed to so much.
Yeah.
But the singles are changing all the time, so there's always new stuff coming in.
But I mean, it was the sweet spot because I had all the Motown singles, Beatles, Beach Boys. It's like 66 through about 70.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
I'm like stuck on this penny singles thing because I'm thinking about when iTunes started selling songs for 99 cents. So you could get basically 99 songs for what was the price of one. 25 years later, like not a bad deal.
I think this is the Clash.
Yes, it is.
So I became aware of the very first wave of punk rock by reading a monthly music magazine that I used to buy at the drugstore, and it was called Rock Scene. What they would do with Rock Scene is they would write about Kiss and Aerosmith and Nugent, and they definitely had their finger on the pulse of the first wave British punk. The Clash were on tour in the U.S. I met Mick and Joe at a club in Minneapolis called The Longhorn. The show that night was Gang of Four opening for the Buzzcocks.
I like the idea of every week reading a magazine that's teaching you, here's the latest thing. Because it's like, you can't share the music in the same way. It's a little harder. Let's get the story out there and tell people about it. Like, hey, this is what's happening in this place.
And again, decades ago, no computers, no internet, no nothing. So this being a witness and documenting and creating this sort of analog history. Yeah. No, I'm so grateful for the people who kept track of everything.
Okay, what's next?
All right. So I think that was the Byrds. I think that was So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. It's were part of my early jukebox, my jukebox learning. And it's funny, I liked the singles as a kid, but, in the 80s with Husker Du, it was hardcore punk, and we were all very, the hippies, what do they know? So I think it was probably later in 1983, I took a couple-day drive from Minneapolis, went down to Athens, Georgia, just to hang out as friends with the guys from REM. I was staying at Peter Buck's house. And, Peter's just an encyclopedia of music knowledge. Peter mentioned the Byrds, and I was like, yeah, they're all right. And he's like, no, for the next couple hours, we're going to sit and we're going to listen to the first 4 Byrds albums.
Do you have a favorite, Byrds era? Because I feel like they really kind of changed.
Younger Than Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the peak for me.
Why?
It was just the right amount of psychedelia on top of the folk rock that they were doing.
Did you feel like as a writer you had to fit into a certain mold?
You know, I started writing songs when I was 9.
Yeah.
On like a plastic chord organ. So, I mean, I was emulating the songs I loved then.
Yeah.
If you go back, say, with early Husker Du, especially the box set, Savage Young Do, that came out in 2017. That's a lot of our first 2 years of demos. That's the sound of a band trying to find its identity through emulation. You take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you try these things out, and then eventually you fall into what you're supposed to be. I mean, that's how I looked at the early stuff. So everything was on the table as an accessory that I could sort of bring in.
Really cool. Yeah. Okay, what else?
Efficiency in progress is ours once more.
So that was the Dead Kennedys I was listening to. First time I ran into the Dead Kennedys would have been in, 80, would have been in Chicago. They were doing a show at, I think, a place called COD's. And, crazy punk rock. Show finishes, and then that was a good night, because turn around, I run into somebody's like, hey, this is John Cale. And John he'd been up for a while. So we were like, It was the summer of 81. We started touring. We went up into Canada, through Western Canada, down the Northwest, and then ended up in the summer of 81 in San Francisco. We, Husker Du, slept on Biafra's back porch for 2 weeks and played a bunch of shows at the Mabuhay Gardens. San Francisco in 81 was amazing. Biafra was so helpful to Husker Du, and we are friends to this day. We live about a mile apart in San Francisco currently.
How did that experience, like looking back on it, being in the van, crashing in people's basements, on back porches?
This is what we had been doing, because we, Husker Du, based in Minneapolis, when bands came through, whether it's the Bad Brains or Discharge or the Effigies or whoever.
Yeah, it's community.
They need a place to stay, so we show up with vegan sandwiches and say you can sleep here. So you do that, and then it sort of becomes reciprocal. When it's our turn to go out, we check in with people, say, hey, we're coming through, and they go, oh, yeah, we remember, we got a place for you.
The community that exists amongst the musicians is like also reflected in the fans and their community that they're developing, and I think it's probably a little bit interconnected too, right? There's like sometimes you go somewhere and the fans are like, hey, crash here.
Absolutely.
People reflect on this community, and it's still so important for so many people.
Again, we were pretty desperate.
Yeah.
There was nothing for us. We had to build stuff. We had to take care of each other.
Yeah.
We had to protect each other. And then, you people say, sleep here, then you sleep there, and the first thing you learn is, the second you wake up, roll up your sleeping bag and get it away, because they probably have like 5 cats that are going to be in it.
Last song.
I think that was Heroes by David Bowie, right? That's one of the Berlin records.
Yes.
Yeah. He's an important artist in the sense of modern music. I am, my husband's a huge Bowie fan.
Yeah.
Oh, come on through. Come on through. You want to talk about David Bowie? It's my husband, Don. Ask him.
Tell us about David Bowie.
I love David Bowie. What's not to love? There's always
Heroes.
There's always something new to learn. There's such a huge discography, and you can always just find something new to learn about. So,
do you have a favorite Bowie era? Like, one of the best things about him is that it's constantly changing, and he's never like settling into one space. Is there air? Do you move around?
I watched a lot of MTV, so like Let's Dance is definitely it was just on all the time, and so I just had to. It just sort of absorbed into me.
Did you make him listen to a lot of David Bowie?
No, he's already famous.
I know it. We lived in Berlin for 3 years, and we lived in Schöneberg, which is where David and Iggy's place was on Hauptstrasse. And we would walk by the apartment, and they have like a big, memorial plaque out front, and we would joke like on Trash Day. Like, oh, looks like somebody's stuff got thrown out the window.
Yeah.
It's reliving the girlfriend out, Iggy in.
Thank you for coming.
All right, hope this wasn't too crazy.
No, it was perfect.
We can be heroes.